Okay, let's just setting up everything live, and we should be good to go.
Red lights on.
Okay, it looks like we're live. All right. Welcome to another edition of Ball Caps and Bagpipes. We're doing the Negro League Baseball Museum art thing, and of course, we've got two of our regulars on here. We've got Eric and we've got Tad. Guys, how you doing today?
Hey, good. It's great to be here again.
Tad, you doing all right there?
You know, man, I just feel like there's bigger things to talk about than baseball right now. It's tough to focus.
So, anything you want to share before we get started? We can go on for ages.
No, I don't think so. I think we should try and stick to baseball.
We'll stick with baseball here. So obviously we brought Eric back. I think we have some interesting news. Tad, do you want to kick us off and tell us what the interesting news is?
Yeah. It's something that we've been kind of hinting to for quite a while now, but I'll back it up a little bit to, when we first started building out the NLBMArt campaign, we heard from Sean Gibson, who we had on a few weeks back, and Sean expressed his, I don't want to say concerns, but he just gave us his thoughts on the big picture of the Negro Leagues community, including all of the families that sometimes get forgotten about. When we talk about the Negro Leagues, a lot of the focus does go right to the museum, and the museum does not represent the families. The families are their own entities. The Gibson Foundation obviously has their own 501c3 doing great things in the community of Pittsburgh. And Sean introduced us to Rose Hunter and Brian Patterson, who are Buck Leonard's stepdaughter and grandson, and run the Buck Leonard Association down in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So the conversations with them got pretty deep, frankly, and one thing led to another. We're doing lots of work right now with the Buck Leonard Association that Eric's involved with as well. But the other thing that we've really been talking about is the evolution of the marketplace in particular, and making sure that as the marketplace grows, that we take into consideration the families. And so the really neat thing that we're going to pilot here, hopefully by the end of Q1, is an e-commerce marketplace. So NLBMArt.com right now is we'll call it a showcase website, where each participating artist has a profile, and that profile links off to their website. What we look to do in the future is build out e-commerce so that each artist can set up a storefront. If you've visited Matthew Lee Rosen's baseballcard.art website and seen his guest artist marketplace, of which I'm a part, that's basically what we want to build out, is an opportunity for the artist to build out a storefront right in the e-commerce website. And there'll be an application process to join, and artwork that gets submitted will have an opportunity to get a certificate of authenticity. This is actually something that Eric designed, and you can talk about this here in a second, Eric. But this is our prototype that Eric has put together for his print that he did over the holidays, that I needed to get one of. And so the opportunity is growing, and it's growing in a couple of different ways. Obviously, the value proposition to artists for participating is to be able to have a certificate of authenticity that goes right with your work. This one is from the Gibson Foundation, includes Sean Gibson's signature. We'll be prototyping one out for the Buck Leonard Association too, and those are going to be the two families that we roll out our pilot program with. So really exciting. It's been, I think everybody refers back to one of the biggest benefits of this campaign for them personally has been the education piece. And we've really double clicked into that piece by learning and listening to the families and hearing what they are trying to do, hearing what they've been up against, frankly, forever, and learning how to turn our focus to them specifically. So I'll leave it at that for a second, let you ask some questions, or let Eric fill in some blanks there too.
All right, Eric, so you got to design the form. How did it come about? Did you and Sean actually work on that one-on-one? Did you give him various design proposals, or how did it go? Describe the process.
Well, really, Tad came to me and said, "Hey, what can we do?" I'm thinking baseball card size, because I think in his mind, a lot of guys are doing these little baseball card things, and to encase that in their little lucite card holders, like on the backside of the backside of the card, it kind of fits nice. You get the artist's signature on there, signature from Sean Gibson on there. So I came up with, I think, about 3 designs that we ran past Sean, and he picked the one, and we developed that a little further. Did a little version with a sponsor side. So possibly looking to get some sponsorships from the corporate world to help us further our cause. So we did that. But then I think Tad's wife said, is a little card size piece, is that going to be something if James Fiorentino does one of these massive paintings, beautiful art, is that little piece going to be enough of a certificate of authenticity to satisfy people? So then we started thinking, well, maybe we need to have something bigger, whether it's 8.5 by 11 size or whatever. So I started messing with that, and I'm promoting my piece over the holidays, and we hadn't really finished the design on that, and I'm telling people, hey, you're going to get a certificate of authenticity here. So I had to bang one out, and I just really upsized the baseball card one we decided on, and massaged it around a little bit, and it came out to what Tad showed you a couple minutes ago. So it's kind of how it came about, and eventually we want to get them printed, and logistically we're trying to figure out how to distribute them to the artists, and
right.
Where are you gonna get them from? Is Sean gonna physically sign all these, or is there gonna be just a facsimile autograph on there from Sean? Maybe some of the bigger pieces Sean will actually sign the certificates. We're not sure yet. So that's kind of where those are at right now. So
But that's exciting stuff. You get to see your work on, your work, and then you have your certificate signed by you and Sean. And it must be nice to actually have that physical thing in your paper to say, I've done it now.
Yes, it's cool, right? And when Tad got his, he was really excited, to actually see it, something in your hand that we've been working on. It's it's cool.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's been a long process. So who's working on the Buck Leonard one then?
We haven't even talked about the certificate yet.
I haven't got there yet.
Eric,
I'll
just
start
finished.
noodling some stuff out.
Yeah. I mean, basically we'll be able to just templatize this thing and really just swap out the logos. I'll hold this up again too. I don't have it ready to screen share, but you can see at the bottom, we've got the NLBMArt logo, which Eric designed, and the Gibson Foundation logo. So really this is something that is a template, and we'll be able to swap out logos. And so coincidentally, Mr. Kittelberger, I really wanted Eric to be on here today just because he's been awesome. Eric has done a ton of work over the holidays. Eric, I just got a text from Brian that the Buck Leonard Association logo is approved. And so that was
Awesome.
actually a bit of a collaboration. I think, Jason, you know that we did an open call to artists. I think it was back in November. We wanted to kind of crowdsource a logo for the Buck Leonard Association. Can I screen share? Yeah.
Yeah, I enabled it so you can do it.
So I'm gonna screen share here. I'm gonna show everybody. This is the Buck Leonard Association's website today. And so when Sean introduced me to Rose and Brian, first thing I did, of course, was go to their website, and I just said, "This won't do." The bare minimum that we can do is with the resource that we have with all of these talented artists in the community is to crowdsource a logo for them. So we invited a bunch of different artists to submit a design. We got down they were actually at a point where I think they had kind of 4 finalists, and they were asking me, can we use all 4 of them? And that's really not a good idea, but let's try and get down to 1. And there was another design by Randy Stalinas that they actually chose to use for their just for their baseball league, and it's just a fantastic logo and perfect fit for the baseball league. But they still needed a brand logo, and Jeff Stone, Enot's Design. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Stone backwards.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, so
Listen to the webcast.
I was wondering about that. Anyway, so Jeff created a version that they really like and wanted it to be their primary logo, but he kind of ran out of resource to work on it. And so Eric tagged in and brought it across the finish line. And so here's a big reveal. This is just approved 5 minutes ago. And so this is a collaborative effort between Jeff and Eric, and really, really excited about this. So we'll have, that logo on one of these certificates here relatively soon. The other piece with the Buck Leonard Association right now too is we're working on a website for them too. So an old colleague of mine is I'm working with, and he's building them out a website. So hopefully by the end of January, the Buck Leonard Association is going to have an entirely brand new branding package, courtesy of the NLBMArt community.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
going to look great.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I'm in awe. Like I love the logo is fantastic. So
yeah, I'll you know what? I'll stop sharing and I'll try and bring up Randy's as well, because it's really cool.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Wow. So just Jeff and you guys worked on it together. That's amazing. So I really like it. I'm curious to see how the website's gonna turn out, because again, my background is in web, so the skills are outdated, let's say, from being off for about the last 3 years. But it's always nice to see good web design, and it's a real shame that the Buck Leonard website looks like that. I mean, it looks like it's done in GeoCities.
Hey, you know what? Rose built that, and I don't know Rose's age, but the fact that she built a website by herself is commendable. But yeah, we're what we did was we actually just looked at the Jackie Robinson Foundation website and said, there's our bar.
Right.
And so we're going to build them out. It's going to be a basic WordPress website. So it's going to be easy for them to keep updating. What I'm showing here is the logo for the baseball league that Randy Stalinas did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
See, this is just asking to be put on a shoulder patch, right? So,
absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the website goes, it's going to be a WordPress site. Rose has clearly showed that she's got the chops to get into the back end of a website and do some work. So it's going to be really exciting. And was just chatting with Sean the other day too, and he said that he hinted that they're going to be looking for a brand refresh here too, probably in the next year. So it'll be fun if we get an opportunity to help. I'm sure there's lots of people who will be willing to step up.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So I was curious, what about the baseball league there? Is it a small league? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, they that's really how their foundation got started. Is a group of local business people came to them right around, I think they started the league in 2005. And so they've been operating the league continuously that long. They've been affiliated with RBI, Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities, for 10 years, I think now. And they serve or have served up to 300 kids a year. And the really great thing about the Buck Leonard Association, and I think in February, I'll invite them to participate in a call as well. So you can hear right from them. But the really great thing about the Buck Leonard Association, and I think the thing that completely sets them apart from any other of the organizations, and granted, I haven't met the Leon Day family yet, but it's the Leon Day Foundation, Josh Gibson Foundation, and the Buck Leonard Association are the only three that I'm aware of family-based nonprofits out of the Negro Leagues community. And the thing that really sets the Buck Leonard Association apart is Rose, frankly. Rose is a lifetime educator. She worked for the Head Start program for years, developed curriculum that served over five counties, I think, in North Carolina. And so what they're focused on doing is, getting kids in to the program through baseball, but really building curriculum on top of that. So really a lot of different education enrichment type programs that they've built. They go door to door, recruiting kids and families into their program. And so we've been talking to Rose, my wife and I, about her opportunity to lead and to develop curriculum that can be shared across all of these different organizations that are trying to do great things for the kids in their communities.
Cool. That's exciting stuff. I'm sure you're in touch with there's various other Negro Leaguers that are out there. Have you made any progress with any of them? Or I imagine they're busy with a bunch of requests at the moment.
They're definitely busy, which is great. And the development, I guess, is that, and I think that, I think that we've certainly had a hand in this, is that one of the things that they've just done, and I don't know the extent how many families, but I want to say probably at least 7. They are talking. Rose has called it their consortium, and they recently sent off a letter to Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball together, basically just telling Major League Baseball who they are and what they're doing and what kind of support they would like to see from Major League Baseball. So what we're going to do is, and we have the green light to do, is to pilot this e-commerce based website with the Gibson Foundation and the Buck Leonard Association. And once we get our feet under us and kind of work out some of the kinks, then we'll extend that invitation out to as many other families that would like to participate, and hopefully develop some of the services that would help some of these other families create their own nonprofits. I know that the Turkey Stearns family has been really active in Detroit. It feels like they're ripe for doing some really great things in their community. And I think we all know that the Satchel Paige family has had a foundation in the past, so perhaps that's something that they could start back up.
Wow. Eric, I would say if you have any questions, feel free to jump in, so you don't have to sit there on the
Oh
sidelines the
no,
whole time.
Tad's good at what he does here. He's
I
he's
want
a wealth of
to hear.
information.
That's like all. I mean, I don't know that there's a whole lot more to say right now in terms of us. I really want to hear Eric talk about his work. I have leaned on Eric quite a bit. I told you he did a little logo for the marketplace itself, and he's done a lot of stuff, and so I'm just beyond appreciative for all the work that he's done, and I love his work. This is his piece here that he did for the holiday campaign, and for all the baseball card nerds out there like me. And I don't know, Eric, I don't want to steal your thunder,
No,
but he did these cool minis as well, and on the back he got the logos in there too. It's signed,
cool.
numbered.
Yeah.
But yeah, when these showed up the other day, I was pumped. So I'm excited to finally get to share them. And then he gave me a little bonus of a little Hank.
Very cool.
Yeah. So these are super cool, well packaged.
Is that the tobacco card one touch cases, Eric?
Yes, they are. Well, they're they're the one screws, but they're tobacco size in there. So yeah, really cool. I never had. I've always had the little lucite ones for the regular size, and I hadn't really seen these. I just did some Google searches and eBay searches and found some, and we're starting something here. So
Cool. So we have a plan for the whole tobacco size card there? Because the only reason I asked is they sell them now. I've got it's Tops 209 or something like that.
206, Tops
206. That's
right.
the one.
Yeah. No,
I
I always loved the little tobacco size cards. I mean, I don't have any originals, but I do have a number of the Tops 206. But I just love the little trinket size thing. I just think those are cool. So
There you go.
yeah,
A little bit bigger than tobacco size.
was that like a Bowman?
Yeah, it's the 51 Bowman.
Okay.
But I had to go. The only reason that's that I have my holder on its way. It just got shipped out yesterday from the States, so got a week to go.
But I have bought some regular size too, so I'm going to be doing tobacco size cards as well as some big ones. I've told you and John before that I'm going to send you guys something, and I've got the reference done and research done. I'm going to send you out some 101s, and I hope you guys are going to like them. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, I have your card. I still have to send yours out as well.
Oh, no, that's
Got
fine.
a whole stack like this high of people's cards I got to send. I haven't done it yet.
No, that's awesome. But I just got some sticker paper. I'm playing around with my own stickers. My daughter got a cricket for Christmas, and so she's playing around with that. I'm playing around with that, trying to figure out what's the best way to make my own stickers. I don't have to go out to Sticker Mule or all these other sticker places to get my stickers. So working on that. There's just so much going on. There's so much technology, so much I want to do. There's just not enough time in the day to get stuff done. But I'm having some fun. I've done a lot of pro bono work in my career, and this is just working with Tad on some of that stuff. I'm really happy to do it. It just whatever I can do to help out organizations they're always more appreciative of your work. It's like, oh my gosh, this is great, and you almost get more leeway to do what you want to do because, they're not necessarily paying for it, so to speak, but yeah, they always give you that kind of levity to to be more artistic, or do what you want to do, like I said.
Right.
So that's why I almost enjoy pro bono work more than regular work a lot of times. So
Of course, you got to pay the bills sometimes. It's never a fun
you
thing.
do have to pay the bills, and that gets in the way of the fun stuff sometimes. But I'm just glad we all found each other. That's
exactly, like I said, the community has been absolutely fantastic. I can't think how it would survive this pandemic without it.
Right.
It's pretty lonely out here.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's once my kids.
I was wondering, with your stadium series, are we ever going to see some stadium tickets along with that?
I love old tickets, man. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility, and I've thought about doing that too. So, like I said, I've got so many ideas swirling around my head. I just putting them down on paper is sometimes the hardest part.
Here's my very first Mariners game. Ticket stubs. There's only 3. There was 4 of them. I don't know what happened to the 4th. June 12th, 1977, Mariners and Blue Jays. The
two teams that come in at 77.
Expansion
That's
teams.
awesome.
It cost $4.50 to sit in the 100 deck, field level.
Wow.
$4.50.
That's amazing.
Gosh, you can't even get it into it. Well, they used to have $5 Safeco night, but that was about the cheapest they got. You can't get anything for that much anymore.
No.
Yeah, I haven't been to an Indians game lately. I don't know what they even cost.
Somewhere, Eric, I have a ticket stub with from the only Indians game I ever went to. Mariners were in town, and I got Kenny Lofton. Actually, my ex-wife got Kenny Lofton to sign the ticket stub.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Where'd you find Kenny Lofton?
Back after the game.
Is that right? That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I think I remember that road trip. We were driving from my ex had family in Pataskala.
Okay.
I think Ohio. And we were driving up. We went up to Cleveland, and then from Cleveland we were driving down to the Football Hall of Fame. And I think it was on that trip, and we could probably back it up and find the date, but listening to the game on the way to the Hall of Fame, and I think Randy Johnson was pitching, and I think he beamed somebody, but there was a brawl, and I'm like, shit, we missed the good game.
Wow. No, that's cool. Yeah, that's kind of funny that they're playing. You said they were playing the Mariners there in Cleveland. That's
Yep.
Yeah, we went. Me and my friend, after my freshman year in college, we made a trip to Boston, and we went to Fenway. And who are they playing? The Indians, right? I don't want to see the Indians in Fenway. I want to see something different. But that's who was playing there when we went. That was probably about 1986 or something like that. So
that would have been a good year to see a game at the Fens.
So I was going to say, Eric, the state of Ohio must be feeling a lot of pain. You were talking about the college football, and of course, you traded your best player away to the Mets.
That was, well, the Ohio State game, that was embarrassing. It was like Florida and LSU all over again. But the night before, at least the Browns won, which
that's true. True.
I'm sure if Sean's watching out there, he's not too happy, but he's a Steelers fan. But yeah, losing Lindor and Carrasco, that was tough.
Did Carrasco go to the Mets too?
Yeah.
And the Mets didn't give up any top 10 prospects either.
No, they didn't. You're trading one of the top tier guys in the league, and you're getting garbage back. Not garbage, but you should be getting some top tier prospects coming back. What do we get? Maybe their 9th and 10th prospect in their farm system. Yeah, for Lindor, we got, I don't know, we got hosed.
Sounds like a Woody Woodward trade.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to have a team, you at least try to win, right? Why are you trading your best players? It's like Chuck Finley, getting rid of Reggie and Vita and all those guys back in the 75, 76 era, after they dominate the league for 3 years. I don't know.
I was just telling someone the story the other day. When I worked for the Mariners, what I'd heard is that in, what was it, 97, when the Mariners traded Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek to the Red Sox, the story goes that I think it was Dan Duquette was the Red Sox GM at the time. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but whoever it was, Woody Woodward's on the phone with the Red Sox GM, and they're talking about a trade for fucking Heathcliff Slocum, and Woody Woodward moved him. And the Red Sox GM says, so who are we talking about, Lowe and Varitek, in terms of prospects? Thinking, and Woodward heard that thinking, oh, he wants them both. And what supposedly the guy was saying is, are these the two prospects that we're talking about, this guy and this guy, thinking that he'd get one of them. And Woody said, sure, gave them both.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not. That's word around the campfire at Safeco Field.
And they both turn into Red Sox, for years. So
I was in Phoenix that earlier that spring, and the Tacoma Rainiers were playing the Phoenix Firebirds, and Lowe started, Varitek caught. I was like in the second row. And Lowe was just dominant. And I'm just sitting there thinking, wow, we got a future again. So much for that.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah. So you get no sympathy from Mariners fans when it comes to bad trade.
Well, the Indians for years have been like the Yankees farm system, so
that's what we always claim.
Yeah, like even back in the 70s, like Chambliss and Nettles and Sabathia a little later on, and the list goes on.
To be fair, he went to Milwaukee first before he went on to the Yankees.
Well, true, but still, I mean, he was only in Milwaukee for what, a month or so here to try to get Milwaukee.
He was in Milwaukee.
So, yeah.
So, Eric, what else do you have in the works? Do you have anything you're working on now and you want to share, anything like that? You said too much time, or not enough time in the day.
Yeah. I don't have any really new stuff.
Just recovering from the holiday sales.
And I couldn't even, everything that was going on, I couldn't jump into the holiday stuff till like the last 2 weeks of the thing. So, but I did try the timed sale on my piece, and then retired it like Pop Fly. I've been talking to him a lot, picking his brain. He's going gangbusters. He gets on video with MLB. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah,
that's so awesome. That just, that's what happens with the pandemic. He just starts doing comic book covers, and then it just snowballs for him. He's doing great. I love it. So I'm working on really trying to get my packaging together. I want a more branded look. I want we talked about, opening the box when you get it in the mail being an experience. So that's one thing that's swirling around in my head.
Nice.
But I was telling Tad the other day, the way I package them, my posters, I like to send them flat. So I send them in these big 16 or 17 by 21 boxes, or that's what I've got now. Because I see people sending posters rolled up in the tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I always worry about, because I've gotten silk screen posters and tubes and stuff. And I always worry about when you're pulling them out, they're tight and there's a chance to bend them up or ruin the corners or whatever. And then when you're trying to frame them, they're still kind of rolled up, right? They're hard to deal with. So that's why I like to do them flat. That just, I think it keeps them nicer that way. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to keep them safe, keep them flat, and still have an experience. So I'm looking at getting some custom printed stuff and with my boxes and then the internal packaging and stuff. So we'll see. That's could be fun.
It's exciting stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can say as a customer that I enjoyed my experience. And it's seriously, it started when I think you told me you shipped something, and so every day I'm looking up. I sit right with the street out in front of me, and so I know when the mailman comes. And anyway, somehow this one snuck past me, and I just was looking out the front door. There's a window in the front door, and I saw it sitting on the steps, and it had your branded tape on there. It was great. I'm here to say the packaging was great.
Well, I appreciate that. I got some old stickers that I got made a couple years ago with an older version of my logo. So I stuck that in the front corner. I do that. So I'm just trying to get rid of those. But I got I wanted to get some new packaging tape. So I tried that with more branded, with my newer logo on there. And it worked great. Yeah, it was cool. So.
Yeah, and I imagine you don't want any of the porch pirates to steal your package there, Ted.
No, we live on a pretty quiet street, but yeah, I seriously look out every day, and I've ordered a bunch of stuff here lately. And so yesterday I was watching. I was expecting some deliveries, and I was convinced. I'm like, I don't think the mailman came yesterday, and they didn't. We didn't get mail yesterday, but then they were here really early this morning. So, and I got a bunch of stuff. So, I keep a close eye when I got deliveries that I know are coming.
Well, I told him I sent him out. It was just a little bubble mailer, just that little Hank Aaron card, and I waited. I look on the USPS, get the price on what it should be. I sent it out. Dang thing came back. Not enough postage. It's like, what? So I got to figure that out. I got to actually physically go to the post office and have them weigh it and tell me what it would cost to send a little mailer, because I got a feeling I'm going to be sending little card mailers a lot in the hopefully near future.
I got a tip the other day.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I got a tip the other day to use PayPal to print off postage.
Really?
So yeah, so I just sent out a round of stuff. I've got a little scale, and so I just bought postage through PayPal. It saved me, I'd say, about $1.50.
Okay.
Even for a flat rate priority, it saved a couple.
Okay.
And a half.
Okay. Now it seems like UPS or the USPS, if you do it online, they do give you a little bit of a deal as opposed to going into the post office. I don't know if that's true anymore, but I did compare a couple years ago. So I think that's the way it is. But I know I've shipped whenever I've sold on eBay, and you buy the shipping through eBay, which is probably through PayPal at the time. It was cheaper. They do give you a cut rate, which is cool. So
is the postage still a problem out there for you guys? Like I said, we're delayed I don't even know how, like at least 2 weeks. It seems like I literally had a guy wait 3 weeks for a card I sent. A guy sent me something from Edinburgh, the same city. It took a week to get to me.
Yeah, I would say so. I know, well, Tad's, I was checking the tracking and it said January 9th. He actually got his on January 8th. You know,
Yeah.
I said, hey, look for a package. It should, according to tracking, it should be here. And he says, hey, look at this. This is what I got today. So
Yeah.
now I think there's 1 or 2 packages that I sent out that day that are still waiting to get there for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it is
Like
weird.
Like I said yesterday, I didn't get mail. Did not see the mailman on our street yesterday. And I sent something down to North Carolina to Brian, and it took longer than expected. Not too long, but at least a few more extra days.
Yeah. But even I got my Ron Say piece back from Greg Garfinkel.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. I think it was a little delayed. And he sent back in the shipping box that I sent him. I'll tell you what, looked like my little pit bull chewed the crap out of it. I mean, it was torn and dinged, and I was so scared that the stuff inside was going to be mangled too. But luckily, I had enough stuff inside to protect it all, so it worked out. Yeah, it came back nice, and I'm going to post that on Instagram here the next day or so.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was actually another really cool kind of collaboration that happened through the community. When we were talking with Sean about helping them with the Josh Gibson for MVP campaign, and Jason Schwartz had a connection to Dick Allen, and Eric created that MVP image. I'm going to see if I can pull up Instagram maybe.
Yeah, I'm
just
see if I can pull my
killer image. And then Greg Garfinkel reached out to Ron Say, who he knows, and Eric created a neat piece for that as well.
Yeah.
But the Dick Allen one was done a week before he passed away.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was really sad. Yeah, that's, he gives us a quote and helps us out, and then he passes away. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he's one that probably should be in there.
Yeah, it's so irritating when they wait for someone to die. It's like, oh yeah, we should have put him in there. Let's put him in there now.
Yeah. So
the fun thing about Dick Allen, I have felt, is like he's not a big name among fans, but when you hear former players talk about him, just nothing but reverence for him. And so that there's something about that guy that we didn't get as fans.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
No, I said that it was before my time, and all I know is there's a picture of him smoking the cigarette and like juggling baseball, and that's my Dick Allen reference.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's in the early to mid 70s or whatever. Yeah, I mean, he was his great years were before my time too, but I just remember the 75, 76, 77 Topps cards, whatever. With him, it was, it was just cool stuff.
Nice. Cool.
Do you have that? Do you have that there?
Yeah, I do. Here, I got the Say piece. If you can see it, he signed it up here. He says, and I sent 3 of them, one for me, one for Greg, and one for Ron. To Eric, very nice work. Thank you, Ron Say. So I got to get that framed up.
Heck yeah.
And he also, I had to dig through my sets, but I got 81 signed. I had to get 81 signed, right? And then 82 in action, I think.
Nice.
But I don't know if you guys ever played APBA baseball. Can you see that? It's a game where you rolled the dice and it had the numbers, the stats. Stats came up really good. I had them sign the 81 APBA baseball card. So yeah.
So I bought something similar to that. It's from an '89 season. There's a guy in Glasgow, and so when the pandemic reaches out, he's got a big box of stuff for me that's got all that stuff in there. So I've never played it before. I'm looking forward to trying that. Like me and my friends, my buddy's got a tattoo shop, and we're gonna close it down and stay late, and we're gonna figure this thing out and play it.
I'll tell you what, I sat in my room and I probably did a whole 81 season with all the teams, 162 games for all of them, did the stats, just hash marks on pieces of paper for all the teams. It makes me sound like a nerd, but it was a lot of fun. And I started the 76 season. I did the Reds, did all the Reds because that was my team back in the day. And I didn't ever finish the 76 season, but just for the Reds. But it was fun. It's a great game. I don't know if they still sell it or not, but the stats come out pretty close to what the official stats were. I mean, you get some variation, but I mean, the players perform like they should perform based on their stats from those given years. So.
That's cool.
All right. We're getting close to closing time. Is there anything else you guys want to mention before we call it a night?
Can't think of anything.
Where do we buy your stuff, Eric? Or did you shut your
I
down for a little bit, huh?
I never keep it up permanently, and I've really only had it open for the 2 events that we've done together. So eventually I'm going to have some stuff up permanently. But some of the other stuff will probably just kind of come and go. It's really just on my website. And when it's up, it's called the Souvenir Shop. And
keep an eye on your social media to let us know when it's open, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I do post that. And so just, you got to get Tad to have another event. and I'll open it up. I've only got about half of my pieces even up there that I could sell. It's a job just posting one because I put the piece and then I got to put it in the frame mock-ups, and so people can actually see what it looks like on their wall. I think that gives people a better idea, helps sell it. So yeah, it's a process, and so Tad's got to warn me when we're going to have another one, and I can start getting some more stuff up there.
Yep. Well, what we're kind of the timeline that's in my head right now is end of March. We'll have hopefully our new website up and running with e-commerce, specifically helping out the Josh Gibson Foundation and Buck Leonard Association. I know that this summer is the 50-year anniversary of Satchel Paige's induction into the Hall of Fame, and while we haven't met the Page family yet, I think they know of us via Sean. And then as we get toward the end of the year, obviously we're going to have an opportunity to do more around the holidays, and then leading into next year will be the thing that I think most of us are excited about is the Thunder Twins campaign, which will be a campaign celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the Hall of Fame induction of Josh Gibson and Buck Leonard. So there's a few things on the calendar right now, but the biggest one to get out of the way is that evolution of NLBMArt.com into e-commerce.
We still got to get Josh Gibson
in the
on that award. So they're going to vote on that probably in July, right?
Yeah.
And that's the word.
Yep.
Because they didn't do it in December.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So we'll definitely be circling back with Sean on that one, and probably making another push. I would say, as soon as the spring training comes back. Saw an announcement today where they said that they were going to have spring training at the normal time and expecting a 162 game season. I don't know how in the hell they're going to do that, but without getting a lot of people sick.
Yeah. Well,
We'll see.
that'd be good if that happened. I mean, just be nice to get some semblance of normalcy back. But yeah.
Well, I want actual normalcy, not the illusion of normalcy, right? That televised sports gives us. There's Australian professional baseball. I noticed.
Really?
I was watching channels. Yeah. Last 2 nights, I've watched a couple of Australian baseball.
Well, I guess I'm going to have
they
to
run the bases opposite. They go to third first.
Yeah, I just know I'm going to have to do some new Josh pieces and do some Buck pieces and probably some Satchel pieces. So
yeah,
it's going to be fun.
All right, Eric, plug your social media before we take off here.
Instagram, Triple Play Design. I got Facebook and Twitter too, but I don't really do much with those other than my Instagram posts go straight to there. And www.tripleplaydesign.com. That's where you can see some of my design work and some other recent stuff. So that's all I've got.
That's right. Thanks for coming on, Eric. Tad, do you want to plug the museum website? Or not the museum website, but the art website?
I want to plug Eric some more because you should. What we didn't ask Eric about was like his background in this, and Eric's been doing design for years, corporate design and branding.
I got a whole story I could tell you. If you want to get me back on here, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I got plenty to talk about.
So he's not a one-trick pony. Baseball,
No.
baseball's not the only thing going on over there at Triple Play Design.
No, it's not.
No, we had Eric on previously. We touched on that because I asked him if he got any free candy from all the candy work he did.
I never did, but yeah, it was fun working on some Swedish Fish and Sour Patch candies and some Stride gum, and yeah, they had some little. I did some little animated guy who was dancing because I think that's was what they were doing on their TV commercials. They were videoing people doing this little jig all over the world, and they wanted this little graphic guy.
We won't ask you to get up and dance.
No, that's been a while ago. So, but it was good fun back in the day.
Cool. All right, before we sign off, we like to end with the card art. I didn't get a chance to do last week's guest, but I did do one for somebody else. I did a Pete Ladd card.
Buckethead. Buckethead. Man, his head he is an actual bobblehead, Pete Ladd.
So I gotta send that to him. So I sent him an Oral Hershiser card, and I forgot he's actually a KC fan, but he's a big fan of Pete Ladd. So I thought, all right, I'll send him another one.
Awesome. Oh,
All right, guys,
Very cool.
Thanks for coming on again. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
All right, thanks,
See you guys.
Jason.
Bye.
Bye.